The answers you've given us indicate you have what we would call a classic slice, so a shot that starts straight or left and then curves too far to the right through the air. You've also told us that your preference would be to play with a draw, so learn how to start the ball to the right and then curve it to the left back towards the target. The slice is caused by two main issues. The first would be that the swing path is what we'd call out to in, and that means the club head is travelling to the left of target through impact. The second issue is that the club face is open. So when the club face points to the right of the direction of the swing, the ball is going to curve to the right through the air. To change this shot to a draw, we need to change both of those. So firstly, the swing path. The out to in swing path has to be changed to an in to out swing path, which is one where the club head is travelling to the right of target through impact. And secondly, we need to close the face. So we need to get the club face to point to the left of the direction of the swing so that the ball curves to the left through the air. To get the swing path, we're going to look at the part of the swing we call delivery, which is when the club is arriving at about hip height on its way down towards impact. We've got two sticks on the ground to help us out. We're going to use them as a reference. They're lined up with the toes of my right foot and they move out in a V shape. If they're standard length alignment sticks, the end of the sticks would match the length of the club shaft. So firstly, if we take the club to the top and I were to ask you to put your club on top of the orange stick, you'd make what we generally call an over the top move. Now by getting the club in this position where it's angled outwards, the club head will very easily breach the target line to the outside, and that means it's now going to move from out to in. On the other hand, if we get you to the top and I were to ask you to put your club shaft on top of the white stick, that puts the club in a position you might call behind you. And from here you can see how much easier it would be to get the club to move from in to out. So the key to the in to out swing path is first to get the downswing moving in the right direction so that your delivery is in a position where the club is more behind you. And secondly, you want to move the club head from in to out across the target line. So we need a closed club face to create the draw spin that will curve the ball from right to left through the air. First, it's important to understand that with every goal swing, the club face opens as we swing it back up to the top. That means we have to close it again as it's coming down towards impact, so it can either get back to square for straight shots or closed for a draw. The opening and closing of the face is caused by rotating the club around its shaft. So if I twist this club to my right, the toe moves back, the face opens, and that would cause the ball to turn right through the air. If I twist the shaft to the left, the toe moves forward, the face closes, and the ball would curve to the left through the air. So it's our job from the top of the swing down to impact to rotate this club enough so that it arrives at impact closed. If we look at this stick as the ball position, if I can bring the club down without twisting the shaft at all, what you would see is the heel arrive at the stick first, and this means the face would be open. On the other hand, if I can apply this twist to the grip and turn the shaft so that the toe overtakes the heel, by the time it gets to impact, the toe has arrived there first and we have a closed face. So two places we can start to focus on this would be the first part of the downswing that brings the club to the delivery position. If we don't rotate it at all, the club face will likely be pointing up some amount, and this is very open. But if we can start to apply the twist, what you'll notice is the face starts to rotate over and it will start to point down. Now this is going from open towards square. It won't be square yet and there's still some work to do, but at least from this position we've got less work to do in the last part of the downswing. So our first goal would be, can we feel what it's like to start applying this twist earlier in the swing so we can get the face pointing some amount down as we arrive at this position here. Now we've got the last bit, which you might call the release. If I get this nice position on the way down and then stop rotating the shaft, again the club comes forward with the heel first. So the goal is to continue twisting the shaft so that the toe of the club overtakes the heel and arrives at impact slightly before. If we take this over to setup, so twisting on the grip, twisting it continuously into impact. Get the toe of the club to the ball first, and you'll have a draw.